Most of us have a little blue jar of Vaseline somewhere in the house. Usually it's crammed in a bathroom drawer or sitting on the nightstand, brought out once a year for chapped lips in January. But if you actually look at what's inside, it is one of the most underestimated tools you will ever own. I found that this $2 jar replaces nearly $300 worth of specialty beauty, skincare, and household products I used to buy without even thinking. They don't advertise that because they'd rather sell you a $22 overnight repair cream with the exact same active ingredient. So today, we are counting down 17 benefits of Vaseline that most people have completely forgotten about. And number 1 is the one I wish someone had told me 20 years ago. So let's go. Number 17, silence squeaky hinges. We'll start simple. A squeaky door or cabinet hinge is one of those small annoyances nobody fixes, because nobody wants to buy a whole can of WD-40 for a 10-second problem. Just wipe a little Vaseline directly onto the hinge pin. It coats the metal, kills the friction, and the squeak is gone instantly. It won't drip, it won't stain, and it outlasts most spray lubricants. Your grandparents knew this one because they didn't run to the hardware store for every little thing. Number 16, protect your skin when dyeing hair at home. If you color your hair at home, you know the struggle. Dye always bleeds onto your forehead and ears, and you're walking around stained for a week. Before you apply color, run a thin line of Vaseline along your hairline, your ears, and the back of your neck. The dye slides right off the skin instead of soaking in. It's a salon trick that costs you about half a cent to do yourself. Number 15. Unstick a stuck zipper. Zippers seize up on jackets, luggage, and boots, always at the worst moment. Rub a small amount of Vaseline along the teeth with your finger or a cotton swab. The petroleum jelly fills the microscopic gaps and acts as a lubricant. The zipper glides again in seconds. Before you toss a bag or a jacket because the zipper is broken, try this first. Number 14. Heal cracked heels overnight. Cracked heels are painful and slow to heal because the skin on your feet never stops moving. Before bed, coat your heels in a thick layer of Vaseline and pull on a pair of cotton socks. While you sleep, it creates a moisture seal your skin uses to repair itself. After 3 nights, you will not recognize your own feet. Those $20 heel balms at the drugstore? Check the ingredients. Vaseline is almost always in the top 3. Number 13. Protect a baby's skin from diaper rash. New parents spend serious money on diaper creams. Vaseline does the same job because the mechanism is identical. It creates a physical barrier between the skin and moisture, so irritation can't set in. Pediatricians have quietly recommended it for decades. It won't absorb into the skin, it won't cause irritation, and it works every time. The brand name alternatives just add fragrance and a higher price tag. Number 12. Prevent rust on tools and blades. A thin coat of Vaseline on the metal surface of your garden tools, kitchen knives, or saw blades before storage stops rust from forming. Rust needs moisture and oxygen to develop. The petroleum jelly seals the metal off from the air entirely, the same way oil does, but without dripping off the blade. Pull your tools out next spring looking exactly the way you left them. Number 11. The makeup remover dermatologists actually use. Here's the one the beauty industry really does not want you to know. High-end makeup removers, the ones in the little micellar water bottles for $14, work by dissolving oil-based products. Vaseline does the same thing, and it costs a fraction of the price. Apply a small amount to your fingertips and gently work it over your eye makeup, including waterproof mascara. It breaks down the pigment without pulling at your lashes or irritating your eyes. Then wipe clean with a warm cloth. Dermatologists call this oil cleansing, and some charge a lot to recommend it. You already have the tool in your drawer. We are halfway through this list, and we've already retired a cabinet full of overpriced specialty products. But the next section is where things get really interesting. These are the benefits that used to be standard medical knowledge before the wellness industry buried them under $40 serums and miracle creams. Stick with me because number 1 is the biggest beauty myth the skincare industry has ever sold. And once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. Quick thing. Have you ever noticed that Vaseline feels completely different from every other lotion or moisturizer? That's because it actually isn't a moisturizer at all. Vaseline is what's called an occlusive. It doesn't add moisture to your skin. It traps the moisture that's already there. Regular lotion adds water, and then that water evaporates right off. Vaseline locks in whatever's already beneath the surface. That's why a thin layer before bed works better than reapplying lotion 3 times a day. Once you understand that mechanism, you start looking at every overpriced skincare product very differently. Number 10. Extend the life of your perfume. Perfume fades fast on dry skin because there's nothing for the fragrance to bond to. Before you spray, dab a little Vaseline on your pulse points, wrists, neck, behind the knees. The fragrance clings to that layer and releases slowly throughout the day. It's the reason some people always seem to smell great and others don't. Same bottle, completely different result. Number 9. Fix dry, flaky eyebrows. Brow gels, lamination serums, clear setting waxes, they're all solving the same basic problem. A tiny bit of Vaseline on a clean spoolie brush combs brows into place and adds a slight sheen that makes them look full and groomed. It lasts all day. Keep a small jar in your makeup bag and you'll never buy brow gel again. Number 8. Prevent blisters on new shoes. New shoes rub. That's just reality. Before you break in a stiff pair, apply Vaseline to any spot that hits your heel, ankle, or toes. It reduces friction so the skin doesn't break down. Athletes have known this for years. Marathon runners coat their feet before a race for this exact reason. You can do the same before any long day on your feet. Number 7. Condition and restore leather. Leather dries out and cracks over time. Specialized leather conditioners cost $15 or more for a small tin. A thin layer of Vaseline rubbed into smooth leather and then buffed off after a few minutes restores the suppleness and brings back the sheen. It's not for suede, but for smooth leather it is remarkably effective. One jar extends the life of every bag, belt, and boot you own. Number 6. Remove a stuck ring. Your finger swells in the heat and suddenly your ring won't come off. Coat the finger with Vaseline and the ring slides free immediately. It's the first thing an ER nurse reaches for in this situation. Good thing to know before you panic. Number 5. Tame frizzy flyaways without product buildup. Hair serums and anti-frizz creams leave residue that builds up on the scalp over time. The tiniest amount of Vaseline, and I mean barely grazing your fingertip, smoothed over the surface of your hair flattens flyaways without any buildup at the root. The key is using almost none at all. A little here goes an extremely long way. Number 4. Heal a new tattoo during recovery. Tattoo artists have recommended plain Vaseline for aftercare for decades, though some have shifted to branded alternatives that use the same base ingredient. It keeps the skin hydrated during the healing phase, prevents scabbing, and protects the ink from the air. If you have a new tattoo or know someone who does, skip the $18 aftercare balm and use the $2 jar. Number 3. Soften cuticles without a salon visit. Cuticle oils and treatments at the nail bar cost money every single visit. Massage Vaseline into your cuticles at night before bed. The occlusive barrier keeps them soft and encourages them to push back naturally over time. Your nails will look consistently more groomed and cared for without ever sitting in that chair. Number 2. Soothe dry, cracked eczema patches. Dermatologists refer to Vaseline as the gold standard occlusive for managing eczema. It doesn't treat the underlying condition, but it creates the physical barrier that stops the skin from losing moisture and cracking further open. It's what hospitals apply to skin grafts. A $2 jar does what a $60 prescription emollient does at the surface level. And most dermatologists will tell you this if you ask them directly. Before we get to number 1, if this kind of straight-talking, no-fluff content is useful to you, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. We cut through the marketing noise every single week. Okay, number 1. This one is worth staying for. Number 1. Slugging. The overnight skin reset. The skincare industry turned this into a trend, gave it a name, and started selling $55 slugging balms. But this isn't new. Slugging is simply applying a thin layer of Vaseline over your entire face as the very last step of your nighttime routine. It seals everything underneath, your serums, your moisturizer, and creates an airtight barrier that lets your skin repair itself uninterrupted overnight. Dermatologists call it the most effective overnight barrier treatment available without a prescription. The branded products they've built around this concept now retail for $35 to $60. The actual ingredient they're based on costs $2 and has been sitting in your grandmother's bathroom since 1970. That's the whole scam in one sentence. $2, 17 uses. Which one are you trying first? Or did I miss one that you swear by? Drop it in the comments because I genuinely read every single one and I learn from you more than you know. And YouTube thinks you'll like this video next, so check it out and I'll see you in the next one.